Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a science-backed idea that might just completely change the way you think about your relationships. For real, we're going to break down the incredible book, Attached.
You know that feeling, right? When you're in a relationship, you care about the person, but it feels like something just isn't connecting. Like there's this weird disconnect you just can't quite put your finger on.
Maybe some of this sounds familiar, that constant push and pull for closeness, Or maybe it's that gnawing anxiety about where you really stand with them, or that awful feeling of being lonely, even when you're literally sitting right next to your partner.
Well, here's the big takeaway. This isn't about some personal failing or you not trying hard enough. The book argues there's a real, biological, even evolutionary reason for these struggles. And just understanding that, that's the first most powerful step toward actually changing things.
So yeah, the key to decoding all of this comes from the work we're diving into today, all laid out in the book Attached.
And it's really important to know where this is coming from. One of the authors, Dr. Amir Levine, he isn't just a psychiatrist. The guy's a neuroscientist at Columbia University and has worked with a Nobel Prize winner. So this isn't just pop psychology we're talking about. It's grounded in some serious, hard science.
Okay, so the whole framework is built on something called attachment theory. And the core idea is pretty simple. Our need to form a close, dependable bond with another person isn't just a preference. It's a deep-seated survival mechanism that's literally hardwired into our brains from birth. And that wiring shapes all of our adult romantic relationships.
So how does this hardwired need actually play out in our day-to-day lives? Well, the theory breaks it all down into 3 different attachment styles. And this is where you might start to see yourself, or maybe people you know.
The theory points to 3 main patterns that we fall into when it comes to intimacy: secure, anxious, and avoidant. So first up, you've got the secure style. These are people who are generally pretty comfortable with intimacy. They find it easy to be warm, to be loving, and they can communicate what they need without a lot of drama. They're kind of like the emotional bedrock in a relationship. Then you've got the anxious style. Now, these folks deeply crave intimacy, but they can also get really preoccupied with their relationships. It's almost like they have this super sensitive radar for any potential threat to the connection. They're often worried about whether their partner truly loves them back. And finally, there's the avoidant style. For these individuals, intimacy can feel suffocating, like it's a loss of their independence. So they value their personal space above all else and have a whole toolkit of strategies they use to keep people from getting too close.
And right here, this is where you see that classic painful conflict play out. The anxious person leans in, trying to get reassurance, while the avoidant person pulls away, feeling totally smothered. It creates this exhausting, frustrating cycle of chase and retreat.
Okay, so understanding these styles, it leads us to a really crucial paradigm shift. It's one that completely challenges a myth that so many of us have been taught about what it means to be strong in a relationship.
I mean, we hear this advice all the time, don't we? Don't be so needy, or you have to love yourself before anyone else can love you. It's all meant to sound really empowering.
But what if all that well-meaning advice actually goes against our fundamental biology? What if needing someone isn't a weakness at all, but just a biological fact of being human?
And this brings us to what might just be the book's most powerful idea, the dependency paradox. The concept is that having a secure, reliable partner, a safe home base, doesn't make you clingy, it actually makes you more courageous. Think about a little kid learning to walk. They explore way more boldly when they know a parent is right there watching them. The book argues that we adults are exactly the same. A secure partnership gives you the confidence to go out, to take risks, and to explore the world, because you know you have a safe harbor to come back to.
So this isn't just some fascinating theory to think about. The real question is, how can you actually apply this knowledge to improve your own life, your own relationships?
It all starts with a pretty simple 3-step process. First, really get a handle on these 3 styles we've been talking about. Second, start to honestly look at your own patterns and figure out your style. And third, learn to recognize the attachment style of your partner, or even potential partners.
And this part is so important to remember. This whole framework, it's not about labeling yourself or anyone else as good or bad. It's just about gaining clarity. It's about understanding the underlying programming that's driving your emotional reactions and your needs.
Understanding your attachment style is basically like being handed a map to your own inner emotional world and to the worlds of the people you love. It gives you the power to navigate your relationships with intention, to communicate what you need more effectively, and ultimately to find that secure connection that is, believe it or not, your biological birthright. So the real question is, now that you have the map, what are you going to do with it?